Hello and welcome. It's me, Marls for Reviews, and welcome back to another Game Chats. Today's Game Chat, we will be talking about where'd the game go? Oh, there it is. Explorers of the deep, you know, the
Of something.
darkness, time, and sky. So we're gonna be talking about those three. And joining me to talk about them is not R. You're not multiple people.
No, that would be difficult. Hello there, people. This is the Guildmaster. Those who follow me know how much I love these three games. They are
That's my favorite Pokemon game.
and second favorite because Auras exists. But
That would be no.
but still, what can be said about? They are by far the best spin-offs in the game, and and probably the game with one of the worst sequels in existence. But we are not here to talk about that game.
Yeah, the game's it brings a new form of RPG to the Pokemon series, I think, and it really does its job well. I mean, we're not talking about the first one, but the first one was good, and then, you know, they come out with this one, and it's just an upgrade. It's basically the same thing, but the story is better, and just new Pokemon, everything, because Sinnoh Pokemon at the time.
Yeah, obviously.
And I don't know, it just got a lot better.
Yes.
They did a great job on the sequel, and then, yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think you want to talk about the next one, though.
And no, I don't.
hates
Gets
it.
fuck. It gets to infinity. Fuck. It gets to infinity.
But yeah, let's cover the story. I do want to mention though, darkness and time are exactly the same.
Yeah, they
exactly. There's no difference.
Just like, I don't know, Diamond and Pearl, Ruby and Sapphire, it's the same thing. It changes.
Yeah, I think the only difference is what Pokemon you can start with, like what Pokemon you can be. That's it.
No,
No?
I think I'm pretty sure they're the same. They're just like you find some different Pokemons and different items. For example,
okay.
in
Actually, that makes
Darkness,
sense.
in Time, you find the different seeds. I don't remember precisely. And in Sky, you find everything.
Yeah, and then Sky is like, you know, the upgrade version, like,
Yeah.
you know, Platinum,
Emerald.
not Silver, sorry, Crystal, Emerald. It's the upgraded version. It has nice little stories, but it's basically the same thing as well.
Yeah, Express of the
It has
Sky.
a few extra things in the game. Doesn't really have much that increases the story. Like, the after game story, there's more, but the normal story is the same. And then, yeah, it has a few little side games and side quests.
Special epic.
thing,
Yeah,
special episodes.
it has.
We'll talk about that after. Of
It
course.
has an entire new level for the post-game story, which is the Shining Village, I think it was.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's the extra thing.
And it has 5
And I think
special
there's a
episodes
couple
that
extra.
you collect it.
I think there's a couple extra dungeons too that you can get.
Yeah, there are
that's really it.
other dungeons.
It's just a little upgrade version. But you prefer it because, yeah.
I prefer.
Of course, I would prefer it. Everybody would prefer it. You get extra stuff.
Yeah, let's say
why would you not prefer it?
The other thing that Explorers of the Sky added to Time and Darkness are mostly small, but they make it almost perfect. For example, Time and Darkness didn't have a good checkpoint system, to be honest. For example, once you defeat the final boss, you have to wait a lot before you can save the game. You can save the game, and just in case, and if you for disgrace you don't reach that point, you have to defeat the final boss again. In Explorers of the Sky, there are more than one save point.
Horrible saving system, like they used it in the first one as well.
Yeah, it's not.
It was the same way,
Mhm,
so it wasn't horrible, but
it's not good either.
it would have been good to save at certain points, and Sky did kind of fix that.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about the story. So the story of the game is your Pokemon. You get turned into a Pokemon. You meet this person. They're very
This person.
This Pokemon person.
You are a person that becomes a
you meet
Pokemon and meets another Pokemon.
I don't wear my Pikachu shirt, otherwise I have to wear this.
That makes
Anyways,
sense.
so you meet a Pokemon, and I mean you get to choose what Pokemon you are and your partner is.
Yeah, but
Sort of. Sort of.
you don't choose like I want to be
You
that.
you don't choose yours, but you take a quiz, and if you look it up online,
Yeah,
you can
and-
figure out a way to answer the quiz to
Yeah.
get your Pokemon. So
And
you
it's
basically can choose it.
And to be honest, it's the test to get the Pokemon to see what kind of person you are. It's something that I really liked. And Gates of Infinity removed it.
Yeah, that bugged me with Gates to Infinity. I haven't beaten Gates to Infinity yet, so I
Lucky you.
can't say it's good or bad, but from what I've heard, yeah. Anyways, so the story, you know, you meet the Pokemon. They want to go to this guild. They want to be a part of a guild, and they're too nervous and shy, and you help them out, and you're a team. You're in the guild. You do stuff.
You do stuff. You discover dungeons.
But there are these things.
You don't kill
If you
Pokemon.
notice on the cover, these things called the time gears, which keep time going in certain areas, and they start getting stolen. And then this legendary Pokemon, this legendary hero Pokemon, Dusknoir, comes along.
And though
And he you know tries to help, tries to stop the person who's
which is
the Pokemon who's capturing it, which is Grovyle. And he finally catches him, brings him back to the future because they're from the future.
Then he decides
but then
to
he pulls
bring,
you and your partner in,
them.
and apparently you find out Grovyle was trying to save the world, and Dusknoir was actually from the future to stop Grovyle from
because
saving the world.
in the future time has
And
stopped.
you also find
because it seems
because
that
Temporal Tower collapsed.
Yeah, because
which is where Dialga is.
The
that
time
controls
GR
time.
were supposed to be put into a temporal tower, and that in the normal future doesn't happen, and that's why time stops.
Yeah. So you basically venture along this dead world with your partner, meet up with Grovyle, venture along to find Celebi to return back to time. You and Grovyle find out that you two, Grovyle and the human, you were the human that was traveling with Grovyle to save the world, but you got separated, something happened, and it made you turn
And
into
you
a Pokemon.
got hit during the time travel, which is something that gets explained in the post game.
You got hit during the time travel.
Yeah, it's been said during something in the post game that we'll talk when we reach it. That you shield Grovyle from the attack, and you get turned into a Pokemon. It doesn't make too much sense personally, but whatever.
I guess it's possible.
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, Pikachu slaps Ash all the time. How do you know he's not a Pokemon? He communicates with all his Pokemon.
Good point.
He's half Pokemon.
That's Pokemon indeed.
But anyways, yeah. So you finally get back to the original time and start collecting time gears. You tell your guild about what happened, and they don't kind of believe you at first, but then they
No,
Well, it's more
Chatot,
that doesn't-
which is an
Chatot
asshole.
the faggot doesn't believe you, but the Guildmaster's just like, don't worry, I believe you.
Don't worry, I believe you, I'm awesome. Yunta! I love that character.
Yeah, Guildmaster's awesome.
Yeah.
And then
I
they
know
help
I
you
am.
out, trying to. While Grovyle's taking the time gears, he tells you to figure out how to get to Temporal Tower because there's supposed to be a way you're supposed to do it. And the relic there's this relic that your partner had from the beginning of the game that got stolen, and you helped them.
And it runs.
That's kind of how you started
And it's
doing stuff with them. And it actually is connected with what's it called before Temporal Tower?
Yeah, the Hidden Land. And to be fairly honest, the relic.
It's the way to get there.
Yeah, the relic thingy is something that I like to call a bullshit ex machina. Because it like you had all the time, and like out of nowhere, it turns out to be the thing necessary to go to Hinterland. But it's a bit of a bullshit ex machina, but it works.
It's a nice little thing they did there. Like you know, oh, this is my useless piece of junk. You haven't used that in a long time. Is it going to be important at the end of the? Oh yeah, it is.
Oh yes, baby.
And then so yeah, you do. Sorry about storytelling is taking a while, but the story is quite big.
Yeah, it is more than normal Pokemon games.
Yeah, but I really do enjoy it. So
do I.
But yeah, so you, where was I? So you find
You
how to get to the
you
hidden
go to
land.
the hidden land.
You go to this little cave area, and because the Guildmaster and Chatot used to be there
Yeah, it
before
was
Chatot
the
shields you. You fight
Brian
you fight
Cave, I think.
Kabutops and stuff. Yeah, Brian Cave. You fight the Kabutops and Almastar, and you beat them. And then you meet Lapras, which the Guildmaster was very close to before.
Yeah, because Chatot.
Because she helped Chatot save Chatot.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did this.
Because
and
it randomly happened because Chatot and Guildmaster were exploring Brain Cave and Chatot shielded Guildmaster.
Shielded the Guildmaster.
And then randomly Lapras arrived and helped them.
Well, no, the Guildmaster beat up the Kabutops and
yeah,
Almastar
obviously that because
afterwards.
Guildmaster is awesome.
Yeah. And then Lapras helped save Chatot.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, Lapras somehow soars. Well, there was like a time
they
barrier
fly.
thingy. So it's like there's like a little invisible pathway, I guess.
Which brings to
that's how it's described, which leads to the hidden land,
Yeah.
and Lapras is the only one who can take you there because there's a relic on the wall of the same relic. I mean, there's a symbol on the wall of the same relic, 'cause stone, and that's how you get there. So you go through the hidden land, and then you find the this
You find
stone tower
the
that you have to
thing
put the
that
relic in.
that is able
and
to
it-
bring you to the temporal tower since the tower is floating. However, Dusknoir arrives.
Dusknoir arrives and fights you guys, and he tries to take you guys back to the future because Celebi cannot do it again. Cannot bring you back again.
And
so
since
if he pulls
Celebi,
if he pulls you into the future, it's basically sealed and done.
Yeah.
The future's like that.
And since Celebi stayed in the bad future, only you, your Grovyle, and your partner went back.
Yeah.
And
But I
nothing.
think Celebi, Dialga found Celebi and stuff, so Dialga kind of probably killed.
Not much. She is found by Dialga, but rather late. It's explained in the special episode about it.
Okay. She's either probably killed or captured, or
No, not killed.
she loses all of her power
can-
because she fights or something. I don't know.
I can tell you 100% she's not
Yeah,
killed.
we'll get to the special episodes
Yeah.
after. But she can't do it again, so
Mhm.
Grovyle ends up
Grovyle
pushing
pushes
Dusknoir
into
the future, letting you two
go into Temporal Tower.
go into Temporal Tower alone, so you can, do it, like save the world. And Grovyle drops the time gears for you, because he's like, okay, you know what? I see your bond together. Me and you were best friends, but you two have such a great bond, and I think you two can do this. And Grovyle's just like,
Also,
you know what?
since
Dusknoir's gonna pull all three of us back in.
yeah,
I might as well sacrifice myself.
and also since I'm an awesome character, I needed
But the one
I needed to
thing
do
is-
something cool.
Once time is changed, you will cease to exist.
Yes,
so
since
you'll disappear.
since
you're from the future.
Exactly.
So yeah, you go up to Temporal Tower, you beat up Dialga, and then you finally get Tiny Gears, and just at the last second, they made it that last second
always,
dramatic point, which is awesome.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
It's awesome indeed.
Trying to beat Tommaso. Like always though, it, games like this have to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, you save the world, and as you're walking back down, because I think there's a path now.
Yeah, there is.
somehow.
There was a small path between the stone thing and the temporal tower, and while you get back to the rainbow.
I think it was
stone-
because the tower was crashing that the path wasn't there.
No, there was. There would have been in anyways. It was just not enough.
No, because the bridge would crash if temporal.
Ah,
tower
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
crashing,
yeah, yeah.
so.
Good point.
I think that's why the path was gone, and that's why you had to take the relic stone all the way up that flies.
No, it's because the temporal tower is floating in high.
Well, yeah, but there's a path to walk down after you beat Dialga.
There is, but
Back.
if you check the cutscene, even when you enter temporal tower, you leave the stone thing, and there is a small path before temporal tower.
Oh yeah, that's right. You left the stone thing there. But then why would you need to take the stone thing in the first place?
Because Temporal Tower is high in the sky. You cannot go by feet. You need first off to get the...
But then what about the path? What?
There is a path. Because...
Oh, the path leads...
Yeah.
The path probably leads to somewhere where you can get to.
Exactly.
And then...
The cutscene in the game explains everything.
Like, kind of like with like how when you're a person in like Emerald or Ruby or Sapphire, there's those like any Pokemon game. There's the slants that you can jump over, but you can't walk over.
Exactly.
I guess it's something like that. Anyways, or it's probably because the tower was collapsing and now it's not collapsing anymore. Something like that. I don't know. Anyways, so you disappear, but with how your partner feels and everything, and how everybody misses you.
It's not because of that.
About you.
It's not because of that. That happens in the first game.
Oh right. That's the first game.
In the second game,
Dialga
that brings that came back to normality because time got restored.
Primal Dialga?
Yeah,
when
you fight
Tower
him as Primal Dialga, which, by the way, it's one of the best Pokemon battles ever.
Music's beautiful and he looks freaking badass.
Yeah, it does.
Although if you're Riolu, it's a piece of cake.
And Dialga gives you a future, so the Pokemons from the future, including you, Grovyle, etc., are back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was just you.
And and that ends the main story. But the post game has a story as well.
The post game has an extra story, which is short. It's basically.
It's not as short as you think.
Yeah, but there's not too much to it that we have to explain because we're almost like 20 minutes into this. So
yeah.
I want to just cover it. And
to make it short.
Okay, so what happens is, Palkia finds out about it. He tries to...
Simply there were, since...
he brings you to his world, tries to kill you, but it wasn't really Palkia.
No, you're wrong.
I think? Or Palkia was being controlled or something?
No, there were problems with space and stuff,
right, that's right.
And pretty much... Darkrai,
he blames you.
No, Darkrai, who were also behind the almost destruction of Temporal Tower, appears in Palkia's dreams as Cresselia and tells him that you and your partner are the ones to blame, and that's why he attacks you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he says we're the one. Sorry, it's been a while since I played the after story.
Played it too many times.
But yeah, so Cresselia, the fake Cresselia, tells Palkia that Palkia tries to destroy you because he thinks, you know, you're the one who caused this problem with space and stuff because of what happened. And then you beat him.
Yeah, and
then later on, there's Pokemon who are asleep that don't wake up.
No, not later on. That happens also before.
No, it's after. It's after Palkia.
No, they're both. In both the cases. And one of the dungeons before Palkia, it's called the Nightmare.
Well, they're asleep, but like right after Palkia, you have to go into their dreams.
No, that's before.
No, that's before.
It's before. Trust me.
Are you sure?
I played it too many times.
Okay. The only reason I'm asking is because it doesn't make sense to have Palkia do it after you already find out it's...
Because since the guy behind everything is Darkrai, and Darkrai, you know that is the bad guy in the bad dreams, Darkrai also utilizes that as like a distraction.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And then...
Oh, yeah, he once you're done with the bad dreams, Palkia pulls you away, right?
Yeah,
okay,
immediately.
So that's how
pretty much immediately after. And then...
so you find out Pokemon are sleeping and never waking up.
And
you go in, beat Cresselia, but it's not really Cresselia.
After you fight Palkia, fake Cresselia... Both fake Cresselia and real Cresselia appeared, and real Cresselia shows that Darkrai is the fake one. And so you go into the...
You basically go with Cresselia. There's a little bit after that of like talking and stuff. But basically, Darkrai, his first attempt to destroy the world was to destroy Temporal Tower, so he made Dialga,
Yeah, go
Primal
crazy.
Dialga, and tried. Well, no, I think he tried to destroy
Yeah, it
he
is.
started destroying Temporal Tower, and it made Dialga go Primal Dialga. Or maybe he turned
No,
him into
Primal
Dialga.
Dialga went Primal because of the destruction of Temporal Tower.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. And then
And then you go into the final dungeon, Dark Crater, with Cresselia, and
but you find out his second attempt. So that was his first attempt to try to
and
destroy
you
it, but you
also
guys
find out
came back in time,
that
saved it.
and you also find out that he was the one who attacked you during the time travel. The first time
Oh, really?
at the beginning.
Oh, yeah,
at the
that's
beginning
right.
of the game.
So at the beginning of the game, he was the one who attacked you because he didn't want you to stop
Exactly.
it. Because he wanted the world to be like that, all destroyed and everything. So then he goes. You find out from Cresselia, since that failed, he's trying to put every Pokemon in the world asleep forever and have bad dreams.
And change the space thing.
Yeah, and change the space. So he couldn't fuck with time. He's trying to fuck with space now.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Darkrai was the one upsetting space then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you go into the
Anyways,
in Dark Crater.
you go into the final dungeon, beat up Darkrai, everything's fixed.
Yeah.
I don't know if Cresselia does something to
And
help fix
also,
it,
Darkrai
That's it.
Darkrai tries to escape into a time tunnel or whatever it was called. But Palkia pretty much
Stops him?
appears and destroys the tunnel while Darkrai is in it. So that pretty much it's probably Darkrai will lose his memory like it happened with you.
Okay. Or he could be lost in space.
Yeah,
Something like that.
one of the two.
Probably the first one.
Yeah,
But,
this game's
okay,
story
that's
is
the
pretty
story.
long.
Anyways, the story's really long, so I apologize about that 15-minute story conversation or something. Let's talk about it. What did you really like in the game?
Then there are also the exclusive of Explorers of the Sky. There are 5 special episodes.
Oh crap, there's those two. Alright, there's the Bidoof one.
There is one with Bidoof where you go into the Wish Cave and you fight Jirachi to have that grants you a wish. And pretty much Bidoof's wish. I would have wished to conquer the world. Pretty much, Bidoof's wish is to have buddies in the guild, and pretty much is.
And then he makes friends.
And that his wish is granted when you and your partner arrive at the guild. The second one tells the story of Guildmaster Wigglytuff's childhood as an Igglybuff.
Okay.
And
then the third one.
when he was already a prodigy, pretty much, and how he became an explorator.
Okay, he was already a prodigy as Igglybuff?
It's called Igglybuff the Prodigy, if I remember well.
Alright, what's the third one?
The third one, which is my least favorite, to be honest, it's about Sunflora, which is a member of the guild, and a mission she has to go through into a ripoff of Magma Cavern from the first game.
That's it?
Yeah, it's a series
The hell
of
is that?
it's a series of dungeons where you have to get an hunter that is an outlaw. The fourth one.
Alright, what's the fourth one?
The fourth one is about a team which I don't remember the name. That were
What's the Pokemon?
that were Lopunny, Medicham, and Gardevoir, which are an exploration team.
Okay.
And you just go through levels doing an exploration, and in the end they find also a time gear.
Oh.
Find also a time gear, but it's nothing special, mainly because you already know that the time gear was in there because you see the cutscene where Grovyle steals the time gear at the beginning.
Okay, so that was one of the time gears that got stolen.
Yeah. The name was Team Charm. Now I remember.
And did you look it up?
Obviously.
And the fifth one.
The first one.
The fifth one was Celebi.
The best one by far.
Celebi, right?
into the dark future. No, you play as Grovile. You play as the best character. Where?
Oh, right. Okay.
Where pretty much
that
that happens after Grovile has pushed himself and Dusknoir into back into the future, and you like try to go to the temporal tower dark version to stop future Primal Dialga, and pretty much you go. It's a very long special episode that you go through. You also need to save Celebi, and in that special episode, Dusknoir, which is someone that I hate. Dusknoir turns. He becomes good. He actually saves Grovile. And Grovile, Dusknoir and Celebi go in the vast ice mountain, I think it was called, and they fight Primal Dialga pretty much in the same fashion you and your partner did. And just like for you, since they changed, the time has been changed, they disappear. But then, since past Dialga brings back a future, they come back. And it ends like that with beautiful music in the background.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of,
so Celebi didn't die, but she couldn't do time travel again. I remember.
No, she could, but it wasn't.
Oh no,
but it wasn't needed.
No, I think the thing got destroyed.
You're right. The point where there is the time tunnel. It got
the time tunnel. The time tunnel got destroyed by Dialga right after you went through it.
Mm-hmm. And there was and you stop Dialga, future Dialga, before he enters into another time tunnel.
Oh yeah, because he's trying to go back to stop you, right? All right. That's pretty cool though, how they interchange like that.
Something that I really love about this game is the soundtrack, though, I have to say.
Soundtrack was so awesome.
Soundtrack
so
is the best in the franchise, even better than the likes of the Noras and company.
I have to agree. Like the soundtrack was incredible. You can masturbate to the soundtrack. That's just weird.
Yeah, you can masturbate to. I masturbate to through the Sea of Time, obviously.
Is that supposed to be a dirty joke? Are you making it dirty?
Hey, you gave me the assist. Shut up. Though, what to say about this game? It used to be my favorite game of all time. What can I say?
Until Horas.
Until Horas and Waifu Simulator Awakening.
Oh yeah, that. Okay, so what kind of? I don't know. We talked about the story and stuff.
Yeah, because gameplay. What do you expect? It's a dungeon.
It's a Pokemon game.
Not just.
It's
a dungeon crawler, just like the prequel. It doesn't.
I liked how you go through the dungeons and everything, and just like the way the dungeons are set up, how it's all like randomized.
Okay, I don't.
What about?
There is Explorers of the Sky brought some new things compared to Time and Darkness. There is also like Asmoth.
The dungeons were very creative.
Yeah, and the difficult. Let's say this game is not necessarily hard, but in the end, the final it starts easy, but like once you finish the normal and post game stories, most of the other dungeons are extremely difficult.
Yeah, the after game dungeons are really difficult.
Yeah.
So you do have to train.
Yeah. But still, you have plenty of stuff to do in this game.
I will say I think you have to wait until you beat like the after game too, and to evolve, because you need Cresselia. Yeah, you need Cresselia to evolve.
In Time and Darkness, to evolve, you need first off to defeat Darkrai, then to wait.
I think you have to beat Darkrai.
I'm sure 100% that first off you have to in Time and Darkness you have to beat Darkrai and recruit Dialga and Palkia. Because you can go back to Temporal Tower and Spatial Rift and recruit them. In Sky, it's not needed to recruit the Yagan Palkia.
Okay.
You can.
But you have to beat Darkrai.
Yeah.
You have to beat the whole game. Like the whole entire
Though,
story.
pretty soon in the post game, once you got graduated from the guild, you can evolve other Pokemons in your team.
I like how they in the game they like, I don't know, there's just a lot of stuff to like about the game. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard to talk about because that's what game chats is about. But damn.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm having difficulty. Help me out here.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think we said enough stuff anyways.
I will say, I think hunger was one of the most annoying things I had to encounter.
I disagree. It's a bit cheap, but
it is.
It adds a bit of difficulty.
It does, but I mean, in this game, it doesn't really show that it's annoying.
Yeah. In the first one, however, in the first one it was hell.
In the first one was hell.
Ending Gates to Infinity doesn't exist.
They improved it in this one, and they actually gave you enough apples and everything, and you'd always be okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty.
Yeah,
shit that they would do something like
though
that.
It made.
But it made it feel like.
Yeah,
it made it feel like you were actually the Pokemon and you had to eat.
And.
But that's weird because you don't have to eat outside of the dungeon.
And it was less cheap than in the first game.
Yeah. Some of the dungeons were pretty awesome too, like the way they were designed.
Yeah.
When you first see them, the outside, because normally the insides are similar.
Yeah,
the insides are pretty beautiful too, but like some of the outsides of the dungeon, like Temporal Tower,
that they are shown,
the Hidden Land,
Hidden
Land, the Hidden Land was just beautiful.
Yeah, they
like even when you got to see the relics and then you had to put the relic stone in and just that whole area.
Yeah, before fighting Dashamaru.
Yeah. Oh, so beautiful.
So fucking beautiful. Probably my least favorite dungeon of the game is Edge's Cave. That it's a dungeon in the post.
Edge's Cave.
Yeah,
Which one's that?
The one with the Regis.
Oh yes, that one's fun.
Because you have.
I like how you can recruit in these types of games. I like how you can recruit legendaries. I do like it how they made it a bit easier in this one.
Yes, no, it made the recruiting game. It made no more friend areas. Fuck yes.
Yeah, no more friend areas. You don't need the friend areas. You just, if the Pokemon say yes, they say yes. But the thing is, with the legendaries, you just had to beat them, and they'd ask to be a part of your team.
Not all of them though.
Most of the time, it was really easy to get them.
Yeah.
In the first one, it was if you beat them, you have to beat them in a certain with certain conditions or a certain amount of turns or something.
Yeah.
Or else you don't acquire them, and you have to go through the first dungeon.
Yeah, and
so they made it a lot better in this one.
And the first mystery dungeon was full of 99 floors dungeons.
Oh yeah, oh that was hell, what the heck, who would go through that?
Has only 2, I think, if I remember.
But who would go through 99 floor dungeons?
I did in the first game a lot of time.
Unless you gather a lot of the orbs that let you
and reviver seeds.
Yeah, that too. But a lot of the orbs that let you go to the stairs with reviver seeds, I think that would work, but...
Yeah, or...
I think that's how you have to do it, you just have to collect those.
Well,
but I mean, I'm happy they don't have. I agree with you though about like the 99 floor dungeons. I do think they were a good idea.
But there were too many.
But there were too many in the first one. I like how they lowered it down in this one. They really fixed a lot of stuff in this version.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was the first one, so what can you do? But they really did fix a lot of stuff and make it better.
Yeah. Okay,
I liked some of the teams this time around, how they actually...
What?
Like... You know, you actually got to talk to
them. You
were in a guild, but you were actually taking part, the teams were taking part in the story. Whereas in the first one as well, there was like 2 teams that took part, where the others were like...
Yeah, there
were
the one with... There were the one with Alakazam, and I don't remember the other one.
Gengar.
Yeah, the Team Minis. My god, Gengar, how much I hate him. I hate him.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What a faggot.
What a fuck.
I liked the scenery of the Time Gears as well.
Yeah.
That was gorgeous. Like, Time Gear areas were just awesome. And then they had Mesfit, Uxie, and Azelf guarding them. That was...
guarding only
day,
three
yeah.
of them. The Time Gears were 5. 2 of them were not guarded.
It's just 5. 3 of them were guarded, 2 were not.
That's strategy.
But I guess it's certain... I don't know. I feel like they could have made Pokemon guard the other 2.
Oh yeah. Actually,
maybe like
now that
other small legendaries like Rotom or
now that I think about it,
or Heatran.
Now that I think about it, another one that is explained in the special episode 4 is guarded by Agatha, which is not a good guardian though.
Ditto.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It's explained in special episode 4.
Oh boy. Wow, that storytelling took a long time though.
Storytelling and gameplay telling, I think...
I won't lie. Fighting the bosses is always difficult though. No matter if I talk about no matter if we say the old version or this version, fighting the bosses...
It was way harder in the older version.
It was, but still hard.
Something that I didn't like about...
Like some of the bosses in this game, like,
Dialga. I find
the fake Groudon.
Oh yeah, also that.
The fake Groudon. Dialga wasn't bad. Palkia was annoying.
And Darkrai and friends were.
Palkia took me like 50 tries. Darkrai. Oh yeah, Darkrai was with like he summoned a bunch of Pokemon.
Yeah, it summons Magmortar, Rhyperior, Arbok, and then I don't remember.
I think Tyranitar was one of them. Golem. But Dusknoir wasn't bad.
No.
Being in the same situation with Sableye, he was actually...
Dusknoir and 6 Sableye, yeah.
Not horrible.
But in that you have Grovyle with you, so they're not that different.
Cresselia, the fake Cresselia was kind of annoying to fight.
Cresselia is not a boss.
Yeah, don't you fight it?
No, you don't.
You don't? Ah,
no.
I thought you did. Sorry, I thought you did. I swear.
No,
I don't know.
You don't. Luckily enough. Okay. Because at the end of the nightmare, you meet fake Cresselia, but you just talk to her, you don't fight her.
Oh, okay.
Fake Cresselia, which in the end is Darkrai, that you fight later.
Yeah, the first Groudon was kind of...
Yeah.
The fake Groudon.
Groudon has always been difficult in Mystery Dungeon. It was hard as hell, even in the first one.
Yeah. He's always been difficult. I can't lie with you there. Isn't there some kind of special thing in Explorers of Sky, Darkness, and Time that you like travel through different dungeons and there's Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, and stuff?
Yeah. It's...
I don't know what that is.
I mean, to be honest, the gameplay is what I can... not that I don't like, because I like the gameplay as well, but it's like the thing I mentioned the less when I talk about things I like about this game is just a dungeon crawler in the end. I mentioned mostly...
It's unfortunate, but there really isn't too much to talk about. I mean, we kind of talked about half of the episode with the story, but there's not a lot to talk about because of the type of game it is. Like, I like the story, I like how the game was designed, I like the dungeons, I like the way you fight is fun as well. Like, the dungeon crawler way, it's not a bad way. It's a good way for a Pokemon game, I think.
Yeah. So 10 out of 10,
not
buy
all
it.
Pokemon games should be like that, but
10 out of 10, buy it.
Not all of them should be like that, but it's good for a series, and this is the series for it, and it works great. I don't know though.
I don't know. I think we talked enough about this.
Yeah, we're like 40 minutes in this thing. Oh boy. Okay. So thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. The Italian.
This has been the Guildmaster, and I need you. Can I just say one last thing? Remember, guys, no matter what you do, you must follow one rule. Hashtag fuck gates to infinity.
The Guildmaster told you. Gotta listen to him. So yeah, The links to his stuff will be in the description below. Remember to check those out. Remember to like, comment, and go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. That is all, and we'll see you guys next time. Tamarley, signing out.
Fuck off!